Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're watching for the very first time, I am Samuel Trinity and you're most welcome, and I do hope that you have a pleasant time. However, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and of course share my link with your family and friends. So in today's video, I'll share with you some of the culture shock experiences that I experienced in the Philippines. To be specific, 10 culture shock experiences that I experienced in the Philippines. So please do stay tuned. Culture shock experience number one for me would be uninterrupted power supply. Like I was in the Philippines for years, and throughout my stay in the Philippines, never for once did the light go off. Like guys, I am not exaggerating, this is the truth. The light never went off. Well, or better still, should I say, the light never went off for no good reason. So in the Philippines, we experienced constant, steady supply of electricity. There was absolutely no use for power bank. Like throughout my stay in the Philippines, I did not have a single power bank. However, though, during the rainy season, you know, we experienced natural disasters, typhoon, earthquake, and the rest. There were periods when they had to put off the lights, I guess for security reasons, and then there were times when they had to carry out some maintenance activities. However, before that is done, a bulk SMS is usually sent to everyone, informing us, notifying us that from this time to this time there will be maintenance activity going on. So bear with us, but there will be no light. And really, true to their words, they keep to their words. As soon as it's, take for instance, by 4 p.m. they say they will restore the light by 4 p.m. As soon as it's 4 p.m. the light comes back on. So that was magical for me, and it was quite a shock because in Nigeria, my beloved country, like they play with the light safe, like almost as if they did not have toys growing up. So this is the opportunity for them to, you know, relive their childhood by turning off the light and turning it back on at will. In the Philippines, even when it rains, we still have light. Like nothing happens to the light. I legit suffer PTSD whenever it was raining, because it's like I'm constantly expecting them to take the light, but then till it stops raining, they don't take the light. Like this is magical. The culture shock experience that I had was 12 o'clock lunch break. Like what? That was a foreign concept to me, guys. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, be it whoever you are, be it a student, a worker, a banker, a whatever, once it is 12 o'clock noon, you go on your lunch break. If you bring your food along to work, you lock your office, sit in, take your lunch and rest. If you don't have your food with you, but you have money to go eat out, you go out and eat. But legit, nothing gets done once it is 12 o'clock. Except for hospitals, you know, they put measures in place for that 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So wherever you think you are going, or wherever it is you are going to do, you have to hold on until after 1 before you can have anyone attend to you. So number 3 culture shock experience that I had in the Philippines was the 20% transport fare discount. Like, read my lips, 20% discount on transport fare for students, senior citizens, and the disabled. Like, seriously. So number 4 so far for me would be the use of Jeepney. Here in Nigeria, we have buses, we have normal cars that they use as taxis. However, one thing that shook me in the Philippines was the use of Jeepney. A Jeepney is like a bus. I'll search for the picture on Google and attach to this video for those of us who do not know what a Jeepney is. So basically, a Jeepney is like a long bus, and the way we sit is we sit facing each other. You get like 2 rows, so you have passengers seated like this way, you have passengers seated this way, we are all facing each other. So it was riding in jeepneys always gave me this weird feeling. There was no time that I was ever comfortable riding in a jeepney, because one, I was always battling or struggling with avoiding eye contact with the passenger sitting in front of me. Like, I felt it would be rude to stare, of course. So it was a battle of just trying to distract myself, look elsewhere, try not to look at the person sitting in front of you. That was one for me. And two, I hate people staring at me. So if the person sitting in front of me has nothing to look at. Obviously, they would be looking at me. One other thing that I hated about the jeepney was the way we enter. You have to bend your head. You bend in, because you can't stand tall in a jeepney. You have to bend and then bend all the way to your seat. So it's really worrisome for me whenever I want to get in and the spaces close to the door is filled up. Then I'd have to legit bend all the way to the extreme end. Number 5 culture shock experience that I had in the Philippines, and guys, I hate this, was chewing of Moma. These Filipino men were addicted with chewing Moma. I don't know how to describe Moma, but the thing is, you see, the chewing wasn't the problem for me. I mean, you're chewing your Moma, it's not affecting me in any way. I wasn't inhaling any residue. But what I had problem with was the fact that they indiscriminately go about with plastic bottles, and then when they are done chewing the Moma, they legit spit it in. They do this in public spaces. It gave me the cringe. Like, I hated that so much. You could be in a public bus like the jeepney now. Imagine when you are seated facing someone else, and then someone is done chewing his Moma, he brings out his bottle and then he's spitting it out right in front of you. Oh God, I felt like puking each time I saw that. I wish something can be done about it. So number 6 culture experience that I had in the Philippines was the fact that Filipinos assume that all foreigners are rich. They assume that we are rich. They have this mentality that, okay, for you to leave your country and come to my country, you have to be rich now, Abi. Not only have you left your country to my country, you are schooling in my country. You know, my classmates actually asked me like, oh, so is the government sponsoring you, or are you self-sponsored? I'm like, my parents are paying for my tuition, duh. So when you say that, it gives them the impression that, OBO, you are rich and all of that. My darling Filipinos, no, not all foreigners are rich. Number 7 experience that I had was so embarrassing. It happened to me at a restaurant, actually. So a friend took me out to eat and I was pressed. I needed to ease myself. So I actually went to the attendant, one of the attendants in the restaurant, and I said, please excuse me, Kuya, I'd like to use the toilet. And he was like, huh? I said, I'd like to use the toilet. And he looked confused. I also looked confused, like, it's toilet now. I'm not speaking French. It's English. Toilet. I want to use toilet. Toilet. Show me where the toilet is. And then, okay, he kept looking confused, and I was like, okay, I want to wee. I need to wee. And then said, oh, you want to wee? Okay, the CR. So in the Philippines, they call the toilet CR. That is comfort room. Why we here in Nigeria call it toilet? So it was such an embarrassing experience for me. Another embarrassing experience that I had with, should I say language or word, was photocopy. In school, while I was doing my enrollment, I was asked to go make copies. Yeah. They'll say, go make copies of this and bring, right? In front of my school, there's like a chain of cafe, business center, where you do your photocopy, you browse wherever it is you need, your internet needs and all of that. So I went in and handed my document to the guy, and I said, I want to photocopy this. And he went like, photocopy? I said, yes, I want to photocopy. I need to photocopy this. And I think probably because of the copy, his brain just told him that probably I wanted to make Xerox. He then looked at me and said, Xerox? I was like, Xerox? No, not Xerox. What is Xerox? I don't know Xerox. I want to photocopy. Luckily for me, a Nigerian passed by, and then I explained my predicament to him, and then he said, oh yes, it's Xerox. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, because it's Xeros. So he said, yes, it's Xeros. Here it is called Xeros, not photocopy. Another culture shock experience that I had happened one time when I went to the market to buy things. And after shopping, I requested for the seller to hand me a nylon to pack the things that I had just bought. And she was confused. She was like, what is that? What is that? I said, nylon to pack these things. Because I felt, okay, she did not understand the way I spoke. So at times when I encounter such and I feel they don't understand the way I speak to them, I develop an accent so they will understand me better. So I was like, nylon to pack these things. So she was like, nylon, what is that? Luckily for me, I saw one hanging, so I pointed at it, and she was like, oh, plastic bag. Okay, no problem. So in the Philippines, nylon is is referred to as plastic bag, while we here refer to it as nylon. So if you ever find yourself in the Philippines, please do not refer to nylon as nylon. Just request for plastic bag and you'll be on your way in no time. However, till date, I still say plastic bag. So I guess it wasn't just a culture shock experience for me. It so happened to be one of the things that I picked from the Philippines. Filipinos prioritize their elderly. I think this is one thing I love most about the Philippines. They prioritize the elderly, the disabled, and pregnant women. Take for instance, we're at a service center. There's always a priority queue or line for the elderly, pregnant women, and disabled. So let's assume that the general line is as long as from here to Kafancha. There's always going to be an extra, even if there wasn't provision for a priority lane. As long as there's an elderly standing in line, or a pregnant woman, or even a disabled, there would be a priority lane, and then they will ask the elderly to come to the priority lane, or the pregnant woman, or the disabled. Not only do I love this, but I also benefited from this because, as we all know, I was pregnant in the Philippines with my daughter. So each time I went out to get things, and instead of standing in line with others, I'll just go straight to the priority lane. So yeah, I love that about the Philippines. The way they take care of their elderly is so sweet. Please, you guys should just keep it up. I love that, and I wish that other countries could emulate this. We have come to the end of this video. However, I have one bonus culture shock experience that I had in the Philippines, which is, wow, voila, my hair. So the Filipinos are crazy. They are I don't even know the word. They are crazy about our African braids. They love our braids. My first experience with this was, of course, after I got to the Philippines. I went to the Philippines with my hair fixed, of course. And after about a month or so, I took it off and got a Ghanaian to braid for me. I'll attach the picture. I'll attach the picture here or here. So I got a Ghanaian, Abigail, by the way. Shout out to you, Abigail. Thanks. Abigail made my hair. She braided my hair. And then when I stepped out in the Philippines, I got compliments here and there. Oh, wow, nice hair. I love your hair. Is this your hair? Like, there were questions. I'm sorry, I'm trying to imitate the Filipinos, so I'm really sorry if I sound. However, I just laugh it off. So, you know, they go like, oh, wow, nice hair. They're touching it. Like, it was really annoying to me because why would you touch my head? It felt disrespectful, but at the same time, it was sweet because they go like, I love your hair, nice hair. Is this your real hair? It's really long. When they ask me, is this your real hair? I say, yes, it's my real hair. You know, my hair is short and scanty, so yeah, what won't I give to have real long hair, even if it's to lie for a day? So yeah, I love your hair. It's nice. It's so long. It's so fine. How many hours did it take you to make this hair? Is this your real hair? They go about asking questions. Was it painful? You know, they go about asking questions. And even there are Filipinos who actually braid their hair. That's to show you how much they love braids. They legit braid their hair. My classmates once asked me to even help them braid their hair, but I was like, babes, I don't know how to make hair, so please, you're just going to have to stay in your lane. So these are just 10 of the experiences that I had. If you'd like to know more, if you'd like to hear more about my culture shock experience in the Philippines, kindly leave a comment in the comment section, and I promise to upload more videos about my culture shock experience. Also, I'm interested to know about you guys. Have you had any culture shock experience? Culture shock experience doesn't only happen when you travel outside the country. It could happen within your local community, you know. Basically, in summary, culture shock experience is just something that is a norm in your place or in your culture or to you, but is a taboo to other people, or something that is a taboo to you that happens to be a norm to other people, or just something basically that you've never seen or you've never experienced and you're experiencing for the first time, and it gives you this wow, amazing, great, or it's repulsive, you know. Please just leave your shock experiences in the comment, or whatever experience you want to share with me. I don't mind. I'd like to read it all. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and of course share my link with your loved ones. Thank you so much. Salamat po. We'll see you in my next video. Mabuhay Philippines.